Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to deconstruct something really special. We're looking at a short but honestly profoundly powerful manifesto. It's essentially the literal blueprint for building an unshakable mindset, and we're calling it The Architecture of an Unstoppable Woman. To really grasp this, I want you to think about it through the eyes of a wildly successful entrepreneur. Just like a massive skyscraper needs a super deep foundation and premium materials, building an empire or just an unstoppable life requires a very specific structural approach. Today, we're going to break down this source text line by line, mapping out exactly how this unstoppable architecture is built. If you've ever wanted the exact formula for engineering a life with pure unstoppable momentum, well, you're in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. Look at that opening word, dangerous. The manifesto kicks off with this massive statement: a focused girl is dangerous. I want us to just pause for a second and ponder that. Why is focus presented as something so formidable here? Normally when we hear the word danger, we immediately think of physical threats, right? Or volatility. But this text completely flips that on its head. It's telling us that absolute, unwavering focus is the ultimate threat to the status quo. When someone is entirely dialed into their vision, like a founder obsessed with their mission, they can't be distracted, they aren't swayed by passing trends, and they absolutely cannot be deterred. The text immediately positions this intense concentration not just as some nice self-help habit, but as a literal weapon. Section 1. The Dangerous Foundation, Building Independence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we completely redefine that word dangerous. Every strong structure has to begin with an independent, solid foundation, right? Psychologically, we humans are tribal. We're hardwired to crave external validation. I mean, it literally gives our brains a dopamine hit when we're accepted by the group. But the source material explicitly points out that this girl is dangerous because she stops needing that approval. This is the absolute bedrock of the entire architecture. Think about it. Most people are out there building their lives on the incredibly shaky foundation of what other people think. They want applause, they want likes, they want everyone to agree with their choices. But the manifesto argues that true danger, true, unstoppable power, comes from completely liberating yourself from that external validation. When you no longer need someone else to tell you you're doing a good job, wow, you become impossible to control. You are entirely self-sustained. Section 2, The Power of Silence. The daily grind. So now that we've got our foundation of independence, let's look at the actual methodology. The text lays out this beautifully structured 4-step framework of daily discipline. This right here, this is the ultimate morning routine and daily execution of a champion. Step 1, she wakes up early. She claims the morning before the rest of the world even has a chance to demand her attention. Step 2, she works in silence. This ties right back to our foundation, right? Because she doesn't need approval. She doesn't need to loudly broadcast everything she's doing to the world. Step 3, pushes through pain. The text definitely doesn't pretend this process is easy. Building a skyscraper involves heavy, painful lifting, and building this kind of life requires enormous willpower. And finally, step 4, keeps moving forward. This is the rhythmic drumbeat of the entire process. And I really want to highlight this specific line because it's absolutely crucial to the manifesto's message. Keeps moving forward no matter what. This emphasizes that true resilience isn't just about having the initial spark of motivation. Look, anyone can wake up early once, right? Anyone could work hard for a day. But the architecture of an unstoppable person is all about maintaining relentless forward momentum despite all the friction. That no matter what part is the crucial qualifier. It means advancing through exhaustion, through setbacks, through massive, unexpected roadblocks. It's the sheer, stubborn velocity of this mindset. Next up, Section 3, Ridicule into Reality, the stress test. Now, as any engineer will tell you, a structure has to survive a stress test to prove its integrity. In this blueprint, that stress test comes in the form of external doubt. This brilliantly illustrates what every great entrepreneur faces. When you're building something massive, people who just don't understand your blueprint are almost certainly going to mock it. They laugh at her dreams. But notice what she does, or rather what she doesn't do. The text doesn't say she argues with them. She doesn't waste time debating. She simply lets the reality of those dreams serve as the undeniable proof. The ridicule is just temporary noise, but the reality she builds, that's a permanent monument. The contrast between those two states is exactly what makes this journey so incredibly compelling. Section 4, The Ultimate Competition, Self-Actualization. So the crucial point is how this final mindset shift protects the entire architecture from the absolute worst distraction imaginable: comparison. The text states it so clearly. She's not competing with anyone. By bypassing pure competition entirely, her only focus becomes becoming the best version of herself. It's a completely solo mission of self-actualization. Because let's be real, if you're constantly looking sideways to see what everyone else is building, your own structure is going to end up totally crooked. The manifesto makes it crystal clear that the only benchmark that matters is this end-of-day reflection. Did I beat who I was yesterday? It's a closed-loop system of continuous internal improvement. Section 5. An Unstoppable Future. The Pinnacle. All right, we have arrived at the conclusion of the manifesto. This is the absolute peak of the architectural blueprint we've been building today. And it all boils down to 3 punchy phrases drawn straight from the text. First, strong mindset. That's the foundational layer we talked about, rejecting external approval, entirely redefining what it means to be dangerous. Second, strong discipline. This represents that relentless daily grind, the morning routine of waking up early, working in silence, pushing through the pain. And what happens when you combine those two? You get the third bullet, unstoppable future. The text presents this as a literal mathematical certainty. A strong mindset plus strong discipline unequivocally equals an unstoppable future. It's a beautifully simple yet undeniably rigorous formula for success. Which brings us to our final and honestly most important question. Do you believe in yourself? We've laid out the entire blueprint for you today. You've seen the foundation, the daily grind, the stress tests, and that final pinnacle of self-actualization. The architecture is sound. The only variable left in this equation is you. So are you willing to stop needing approval? Are you ready to do the quiet, painful work in those early morning hours? If you are, I challenge you right now. Drop the word unstoppable in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. Keep building that foundation, and I will see you in the next one.